Welcome back, YouTubers, to another WWE vlog in HD with me, Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting to my left. It's NJ.
What's up?
What's up, NJ? What's up to you guys out there? Coming at you today with our Smackdown review for the 22nd of July 2011. Make sure you guys subscribe up above as usual. Like this video if you like the video, and comment your thoughts on Smackdown down below.
Be sure to contact us in the links in the green box below.
Sure thing, NJ. Right, whew, Smackdown this week. We're showing signs of improvement, isn't it?
It has.
Good, and I think that is mainly down to the new head writer, Ed Koski, in my opinion.
Because they couldn't have done much before Money in the Bank, so they had to start fresh from now.
Yeah, all I'll say though, it didn't start off well. We had Orton sitting in the ring saying, "I am Randy Orton," and for fuck's sake, what I was thinking here, surely you should start off with Christian after he's won the World Heavyweight Championship. That's just what I would think anyway. A new champion. Parade him in the opening segment. They kind of did, but I would really should have started with him and not Orton, in my opinion.
But at the same time, when Christian finally came down,
thank God,
he explained why he didn't say. He said he's still not talking to the fans.
Yeah.
So he kind of explained why he didn't start off with the show.
At least Orton only got 30 seconds of mic time. Christian came in pretty much straight away. So at least that was a positive for SmackDown this week.
And it's basically Orton's demanding a rematch, and Christian's just really not wanting to give it to him.
Obviously not. Basically, Christian tells Orton that he didn't win the belt because of his anger issues, and let's face it, with that man beard right there, you're going to have some anger issues, aren't you? You know, he calls it justice because of what happened when he lost the title against Randy Orton. He calls it like it was justice. It's just a shame that on the way to getting justice, they've had to turn him heel and make this storyline run on too long, in my opinion.
It has, and it still looks like it's going to carry on because of Of course, Orton deserves his rematch because he was the champion. He's lost his championship, so yeah. So
it's good back and forth between the two, but the more interesting bit comes out. I know people are going to be surprised at this, but the interesting thing comes out when Teddy Long comes out. Christian and Orton, of course. Orton's going over to Christian to try and confront him, but then Teddy Long comes out. The referees stop him, and all of a sudden we get the referees. You know, Teddy Long saying, "You know, you go and have your match." Blah blah blah. And then Orton walks off, and all of a sudden attacks Christian out of nowhere, and it's just like, you know, this is so much more interesting than the usual shit Teddy Long main event crap that we usually get in an opening segment.
And at the beginning of the night, we announced two matches.
Yep.
We have the one that's coming first, which is Christian versus
Ezekiel Jackson.
Not for the Intercontinental Championship,
obviously not for the world title either.
No, that's good. And then we
have the unification match.
Maybe.
Oh, awesome.
And the main event, which is Randy Orton versus Kane in a street bar.
Yes. So This opening promo was so much more interesting than usual, just because, you know, you had a bit more going on, not much Teddy Long time, not much Randy Orton time, and I really enjoyed this opening segment. The first SmackDown opening segment that I've enjoyed in a while, NJ.
I would say the same, and it basically did a great open for SmackDown, and it explained that Orton will get his championship. It gave us the matches for tonight, so I think it was a good opening.
Definite positive opening there. So let's get to our first match then, because we go straight on to Christian versus Ezekiel Jackson. And we have a couple of problems with this. You know, why are these two facing off? This really does show how little baby faces they have on SmackDown to face off against, you know, main event heels, you know, when they need to be in this kind of match. And to be honest with you, I don't want to see Ezekiel Jackson in this match. Although he's a very strong competitor, I want to see Ezekiel Jackson win matches and continue his IC title push.
That's true. Even though he's been the IC champion for a while now, he's still like a newish face in the SmackDown, so he still needs to keep on growing, keep on looking good and that. So to put him against Christian, who's bound to win, because obviously he's just became the champion, even though I would have liked, because Christian's not the greatest champion, I'm not going to say that. So if Zeke did beat him, I wouldn't be surprised, but of course they weren't going to do that to Christian. So
yeah. So but the thing is, at least WWE, at least they booked him somewhat strong in this match, which was good for me. They ended up giving Christian the win, so Christian gets the win that he needs. Zeke looks strong, even though I don't like the fact they're involving him in these kind of matches where they don't really where he needs to be. He needs to be involved in some sort of mid card title feud, doesn't he? Really, not jobbing to guys like Christian.
Well, isn't this the match that wasn't meant to happen because Zeke was meant to face someone else?
Ezekiel Jackson was supposed to face Cody Rhodes, as advertised on SmackDown. And one thing I will say is, we didn't fucking get that match. And if WWE, if you're not going to fulfill your advertisements, then, you know, don't expect people to watch your shows. Fulfill what you advertise, or else, you know, you're not going to get very good reviews from fans like us.
Because Cody Rhodes versus Zeke would have been a lot better than what we have now.
It could have started off a mid-card feud for all we know.
Yes, it would have been better than what we had now, but anyway.
Yep, Christian wins the match with a kill switch. I haven't seen him win the match with a kill switch in a while, so it's good to see that.
And for him to hit on Zeke, I was pretty because he tried other attempts, but he Zeke managed to escape them with his strength and that, so he managed to finish it. So well done, Christian.
Right, next we have a pointless from the vault segment, Michelle McCall versus Gail Kim. Then none of them are involved in the WWE that much anymore, so we'll just skip on, shall we?
Yeah, nothing much up from the vault.
Because the next segment, in my opinion, was quite interesting. It had some good implications in it. We get Michael Cole introducing our Money in the Bank winner, Daniel Bryan. And it's good that they're having a promo segment with him, because he's just won Money in the Bank, and like Alberto got on Raw, he needs a promo segment to try to kind of feel himself into it with Michael Cole, and I did like the addition of this segment.
Michael Cole is the perfect choice, because Daniel Bryan and Michael Cole have had problems way past in NXT. Michael Cole has never liked Daniel Bryan, which gets said tonight. So I think, to be honest, having him just definitely brought the best out of this segment.
Yeah, it was just good seeing Daniel Bryan getting some promo time, especially now he's got Money in the Bank and he said he'll cash it in at WrestleMania 28, which was the big surprise because I really didn't expect this. What are your thoughts on him cashing it in at Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 28? I mean, this is good. I kind of like this.
It's the perfect time because yes, there's other events coming up, but WrestleMania, the grandest stage in the world, the one that there's going to have loads and loads of people watching. There's going to be a full arena. I think it's going to be a perfect moment for someone that is just starting in the mid card to get a big shot at WrestleMania.
Yep, something similar to Chris Benoit, but he won the Rumble. But I do like the way they're trying to work this in. One thing I will say though is I'd have liked it if they announced it a little bit later. Just give us a little bit more suspense, build him up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Rather than announce it now, maybe announce it a little bit later on. Maybe at Royal Rumble or something. I don't know. It's just I like this. I like this idea that a guy's going to cash it in a WrestleMania because it makes perfect sense in my opinion.
And I think Daniel Bryan saying this is something to look forward, something else to look forward to at WrestleMania.
and then Heath Slater interrupts the promo, and you're just sitting there thinking, why is Heath Slater coming out on the mic saying, the one-man rock band, baby, and no one joined in at all.
Because the thing is, in the members of Nexus, he was probably the worst. Well, not Daniel Bryan, Heath Slater. Then it comes to the core. He was the worst one in the core, so I think he was the worst guy to come out to Daniel Bryan.
I won Money in the Bank. Daniel Bryan didn't win it. I am the Money in the Bank winner, guys. Don't believe everything Daniel Bryan's telling you. But anyway, this led to a match with between Heath Slater and Daniel Bryan. And at first I was thinking, oh my god, this is going to be shit. But then it was actually not a bad match. It got a good amount of time. I'd have liked to have seen Daniel Bryan look a bit stronger in this match. But on the other hand, I like the fact they're drawing out a good match with Daniel Bryan, showing his submission skills, showing his wrestling ability. So overall, I really like this match. What did you think?
I give it a thumbs up to this match. Even though he's like not the best person to have came out, I'm just saying that the length of the match, the way these two performed together, I don't really have any faults with it.
No. One thing that Smackdown have done badly in the last month or a couple of months or so is they've been putting people in the wrong matches. In my opinion, Heath Slater as a jobber is a perfect guy in this match to job to someone like Daniel Bryan to make him look strong. So at least Smackdown are kind of using guys that we consider jobbers to guys like Daniel Bryan who are going to be flourishing in the main event at WrestleMania 28, hopefully.
That is very true.
I think good booking by Smackdown. It's kind of like it's part of the improvements of this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that this is one improvement. It was a good match for these two.
Definitely. We then get a Mark Henry backstage promo, basically talking about him being strong, and we didn't know why this was there. We thought it might have been getting this on TV, but it turned out that he had influence later on in the night. The promo was decent. He just basically bigging himself up, saying he's strong,
and he doesn't feel bad for what he's done to Big Show.
It's good having backstage segments. I do like the addition of the backstage segments occasionally in the SmackDown tapings. We then get a Raw recap of Triple H pretty much firing Mr. McMahon. We've already said our views on this. We watched it again. We watched it on Monday, and I can understand why they might want to have it because it's a big moment. But
and I can't say yes, it's a Raw thing. We normally complain about them, but for this particular one, it's going to affect SmackDown.
It wasn't that bad. We even had Orton mention it in the opening promo.
That's true, and I think the whole Vince McMahon and Triple H thing that's going to affect SmackDown in a couple of months' time. I think it's going to interfere from both brands.
So in this instance, I'm okay with this. Right, should we move on to the next match we got? Now, have you noticed now that Sin Cara he's not involved in SmackDown anymore, and it's kind of, I don't know, they probably filled this match, Wade Barrett versus Sheamus. They're kind of trying to use all their superstars now. They're kind of forced to put a heel against a heel, maybe. But we feel that Sheamus might be turning face, don't we?
It would be good. Like, I felt from the start, when SmackDown needed faces, I was thinking, the only one that can really come to mind to turn heel to a face is Sheamus.
Yeah, and of course we know with Sin Cara, you know, he's not going to be on here anymore for another month, so that's another face gone. So I guess WWE might have picked this time to maybe try and turn Sheamus face. He got a big pop at Money in the Bank. He got kind of some face pops tonight, which was good. This Wade Barrett versus Sheamus is a match I was looking forward to when I saw it because they're both brawlers. And it just makes for a good brawling match, and I like this match for the time it got, and I like the way it ended as well.
Okay, I'm going to say the match itself, it was good because I think they can work well together in the ring. They both go at each other like the way they should. Then they go outside the ring, and again, I kind of was hoping the match was going to end with the overall winner maybe inside the ring. But if this is going to bring out a rivalry in the future, I think they've done it right there.
See, I'm glad they've done a double count out because I think another mistake that WWE have made is they've made people win clean when in actual fact they might be better off making the win by disqualification so they don't both get buried. And so one guy doesn't get buried. In this match, none of them got buried. You know, Sheamus looked strong at the end.
Talking about buried, again, it finished with Sheamus being the overall strong one. And I'm like, Sheamus has been in wrestling for a while now. He's had his title reigns and that. Wade Barrett is, I'm hoping, going to be the one to come up next. So maybe I'd like to see Wade Barrett be the standing one tall.
It is a bit of a shame when you see a guy like Wade Barrett and he's jobbing a lot in WWE at the moment, and you just think to yourself, come on, you've got such a great superstar here. He's got charisma, mic skills, great in-ring ability. He's a big guy. They never really recognise him as a big guy, do they? They've got such a great guy they can work with, and they're burying him. And although I did say I like this match and I like the outcome, I don't like the fact that they're still burying Wade Barrett. Hopefully we'll see more from him in the future, but what do we expect now?
I just look forward to, if they do have a rivalry, or if they do continue with Wade doing something on SmackDown, I really want to see him get lifted. Yes, he don't win Money in the Bank, but he can still be used great on SmackDown.
I'll say one thing though, if you want one guy to put Sheamus over as a face, Wade Barrett's your man. I think
it should be Sheamus putting Wade Barrett over.
No, I mean as a face, not in the match. I mean as a face.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay then. So we go to another backstage segment. This time with Kane. Now this was basically Kane saying he feels more like a human than a monster anymore. But his match in Orton, he will wake the monster in him. And the reason why I like this is because it built to the main event. You have Orton, who's just come from Money in the Bank, who's got his anger issues, and you've got a guy in Kane who wants to bring out this monster in him. It really makes for a brutal main event, and it's a really good build-up. I love this.
As I said before, I personally feel that way. Kane is great at making these segments here when he's talking about what he's going to do and how he's feeling.
Yep.
And the way he did this in the Red Room, and the way he just spoke about his feelings and how he's going to be, I just thought this was awesome. It was a good thing right before the main event.
The music added to it as well, didn't it?
It did. It added a lot of effect to it.
And for our main event tonight, which we had pre-announced on WWE.com and mentioned in the opening segment, good work there, WWE, Kane versus Randy Orton in a street fight. And was it me, NJ, or did this match kind of have a pay-per-view feel about it? When we were watching the match, it kind of had a pay-per-view feel about it, just the way it was done and the length of time it got, didn't it?
Because when it comes to the end of SmackDown, we was expecting one more match. But when I saw how well this match did, the length, the way these two were together, the weapons, I just thought, yes, this could have been at a pay-per-view. But again, it was an enjoyable match.
And we even had an Orton announcer's table botch where he puts his leg through the gap where the TV goes. That was quite funny, even though he probably might have got injured from that. This match, what can I say about this match? You had Singapore Canes, you had the announcer table used, you had some decent spots in the match.
You had kick out of RKO, the kick out of choke slam.
The crowd were really digging that RKO kick out, weren't they? Because they expected it to be over and it wasn't. So, you know, hands down, good work for Kane and Orton there. The match finishes with an RKO on the chair, which was a bit weird in my opinion, because didn't that hurt Randy Orton more than Kane? But I don't know. But the match itself was brilliant. I really did like this match.
Overall, I'm going to give it a good, strong rating for this match because it definitely was a great main event for SmackDown. These two did not bolt in the match; they just worked well together. They were both dominant. It was just awesome, I thought. Yeah,
Orton even sells it after the match, which is good. And then he shakes Kane's hand. So that was good to see, wasn't it?
I think Orton played it well because I was expecting Orton to be all like, "Oh, that didn't hurt" and all that. But he actually did play injury. And Kane, he played it well. He played injury, but there was a reason why he continued playing his injury afterwards.
Yeah, and Orton, of course, we thought he might just end the night on top. But no, WWE's SmackDown head writer Ed Koskey thinks to himself, Randy Orton has had upper hand on SmackDown at the end too many times. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring out Mark Henry to beat Kane. And I know you like Kane, but you can't deny the fact that at least SmackDown are changing at the ending of their main events than having Orton on top and having Mark Henry still look strong, which is good for his push.
Well, with me, again, as much as I'm a great fan of Kane and I want this monster to come back out of him, I think that Mark Henry, for a long, long time, hasn't done anything in the WWE apart from these odd matches now and again. So for him to have this monster inside of him that's coming out, I think for him to take out one of the monsters in the WWE was just great for him.
Yeah,
so
and hopefully this rivalry, if he has a rivalry with Mark Henry, he'll bring out the monster in him again, maybe, who knows. But
Monster versus Monster, that could be another good match.
Exactly. You know, but I mean, I did like how this, you know, you had Mark Henry end the show, making him look strong rather than Orton, which was really good to see. You know, you had him do a splash on Kane's leg while the chair is wrapped in it, which is what he did on Big Show, so some good continuance there. Overall, I really like the way this SmackDown ended. I was really appreciative of this.
I'm hoping it hasn't taken out Kane, because obviously Mark Henry still needs a rivalry going. Big Shot away and Kane, there's not really anyone there for him. So I think if they do continue with this, I'll look forward to that.
Yep. So overall thoughts, MJ? Definite improvements, would you say, from SmackDown?
There's improvements, but then at the same time, there's other wrestlers that could have maybe made appearances. Like Justin Gabriel,
Cody Rhodes.
It's not that important. Cody Rhodes. It's not important. Ted DiBiase.
Sorry.
It's not important, but like there's no. Yes, people say great, they're boring, but Divas match, there could have been a small filler in there. Again, the main event was long, which was good. It gave a great way to finish off SmackDown. You get to see a new way of ending SmackDown. Hopefully they'll continue with not Orton finishing it. So I'm going to say overall it was a strong rated SmackDown.
Do you know what, for me, right? This SmackDown went really quickly. And usually SmackDown seems to drag on for me just because it's usually quite bad. So for me, that shows to me that it's entertaining me, the fact it's going quickly. Because to me, I was just like, well, bloody hell, it's over now. So, but for me, the fact that you know, you really develop. Although there's not many storylines on SmackDown at the moment, the main thing is at the moment they've sorted out the writing a bit better. They've improved the booking of the matches a little bit more. They've given us a good main event. They've not had Orton end the night on top. They've had someone else like Mark Henry end the night on top. A very good opening segment in my opinion, with some decent matches in there with Daniel Bryan winning Money in the Bank.
That is true. They did continue the follow-on for Money in the Bank. They did, like, Raw didn't do that very well, mentioning what happened at Money in the Bank. SmackDown did, like the Daniel Bryan speech.
We had Daniel Bryan announcing, which was a good surprise as well, I thought.
You had that, yeah.
When he's going to cash in Money in the
Bank.
Bank.
Had the follow-on for Christian. Well, the Christian thing, I'll say yes, it did, but Christian did not play hurt during this. No. He was put through the announce table and all that one, and he just was fine, so I thought that was a bit of a downfall. Overall, it was a good SmackDown.
But once again, we're just nitpicking, really. You know, it was a very good SmackDown. It was definitely an improved SmackDown, in my opinion. And thank you very much to Ed Koskey, the new head writer, in my opinion, who seems to be working out and seems to be really doing the nuts and bolts on things that fans like us moan about a lot. So for me, this SmackDown gets a B from me.
A strong B from me. I'm just hoping that the next weeks to come they continue with these new ideas they've had in SmackDown.
Definitely. That has been our SmackDown review, of course, from us, the British Fist, as you all well know. Our little sign, and you, the fists out there. Make sure you keep subscribing up above, of course, liking the video. Get your comments down below because we want to hear what you thought of SmackDown. Your thoughts are very important to us. And all I'll say here now is thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.